Henry VII's defeat of Richard III in 1485 brought peace to the country. With no further need for the wealthiest to live in fortified castles, the Tudor period saw many grand houses and palaces being built, a process which accelerated over the following centuries as prosperity increased. I find there's something rather magical about English country houses. They're a blend of splendour, craftsmanship and history, where each room, detail and artefact tells its own story. From grand stone staircases to wood-panelled libraries, these places captivate me with their charm and beauty. The architecture is a big part of the appeal. These homes, with their towers, wings and chimneys, reflect different periods in English history. Because many took centuries to complete, you'll often find a fascinating mix of architectural styles in the same building. You never quite know what you'll find around each corner, which makes them a photographer's paradise. Capturing the perfect shot is easier said than done, but it's a way of taking home a piece of the magnificence, especially as guidebook photos rarely do them justice. Inside, the artifacts are another highlight. Portraits, tapestries, sculptures and furniture reveal the lives of the families who lived there, with each piece carrying echoes of a past era. I found myself admiring the craftsmanship and care put into each item, often by people whose names have been forgotten, although their artistry remains for all of us to enjoy. But it's not just about what's inside. The gardens and grounds surrounding these houses are often extraordinary, changing with the seasons. They were designed to impress and to serve as a scenic extension of the main house. Spring and summer flowers and autumn colours can be an attraction in their own right. Indeed, some venues keep their houses firmly closed to the public and just open the gardens. And much as I enjoy the gardens, I do find it frustrating when I can't go inside. Historically, these places symbolised immense wealth and power, standing in stark contrast to the lives of ordinary people who almost certainly would have resented these symbols of privilege. They were private, exclusive worlds, enjoyed by the few and envied by the many. I sometimes wonder what it would be like to live in those times, but I'm glad I don't. I prefer today's comforts. The years haven't always been kind to country houses. Hundreds were destroyed or abandoned and left to fall into ruin, something I'm always reminded of when I visit one that's been preserved. Maintaining houses became increasingly difficult in the last century, especially after World War II, when taxes increased enormously and the number of staff available to run these properties sharply declined. Opening houses to the public became essential for their survival. Some estates were donated to organisations like the National Trust, whilst others remained in private hands. I often find that privately owned homes can feel better cared for and more welcoming than those owned by the National Trust. I'm not criticising the Trust. After all, they've achieved a huge amount, but sometimes their houses lack a little atmosphere or feel somewhat similar to each other. Nevertheless, irrespective of ownership, most rely heavily on volunteers to function effectively. To attract more visitors, and generate the income needed to maintain them. Many houses now offer experiences like period reenactments and glimpses of life below stairs, to give an insight into the lives of the people who kept these places running. These activities bring the properties to life and enrich the atmosphere, giving a more vivid sense of the past. With increased public access and a focus on conservation, appreciation for the stories within these historic walls has also grown. Today, they're more than monuments to the past. They're living spaces where we can wander through centuries of life and see how people lived and left their mark. That's the real joy of English country houses for me. The architecture, the stories embedded in every artefact, and the chance to lose myself in another world, celebrating what makes history so endlessly fascinating.